Nadezda Petrovic, story of an ordinary woman who became outstanding. Nadezda Petrovic is one of the many who are somewhat marginalized and never get a full recognition for their work. The greatness of this heroine is that she never asked for it, which is a proof of her full and honest nobleness. Serbia's versatile artist of high moral integrity, patriot, a humanist, died as a war nurse in Valjevo more than 100 years ago. Nadezda was fortunate to be born in a well-situated family and to get a good and proper education. Her father, Dimitrije, was an art teacher, a wealthy and respected man. Her mother, Mileva, worked as a teacher, which wasn't that common back in those days. So Nadezda grew up surrounded with people who were erudite, and she had all that needed conditions to become a great artist. Her family was united under the idea of unification of South Slavs in a single state, the idea of unique and united country, Yugoslavia. After Serbia, she pursued her education in Munich and Paris, which affected her art.
We can clearly see the influences from these different periods, so her artwork can be divided into 3 periods as well. Munich period from 1898 to 1903, Serbian period from 1903 to 1910, Paris period from 1910 to 1912, but also the fourth one, war period from 1912 to 1915. Nadezda Petrovic is considered to be one of the most important Balkan artists of the period. Her works belong to Impressionism, art and Fauvism as well. She also painted portraits and portraits with landscapes from Serbia in patriotic spirit. Her patriotism is reflected in the frequent choice of themes from the national history. Through all this time, Nadezda was also a humanitarian and politically active. She is the founder of the Circle of Serbian Sisters in 1903. She fought for women's rights and social justice. She worked as a philanthropist. She was a fearless woman, and that wasn't typical for that time. She encouraged other women to speak for themselves too. She held a speech from the balcony of the National Theatre in Belgrade for the annexion of Bosnia and Herzegovina by the Austro-Hungarians. She was also the first female war photographer in this area. Nadezda spent her last years as a volunteer nurse, first in Balkan wars when she demanded to be to the front so she could work in a makeshift hospital. Even during the war, she managed to paint a bit. As soon as the First World War broke out, Nadezda served as a nurse once again at her own request. Due to the epidemic of typhus fever, Nadezda Petrovic died on the 3rd of April 1915.